Hello, boys and girls. This is Mrs. Stone, and this is your spelling lesson for the week. We are in spelling sort number 5. So you're going to need your workbook, your spelling sort number 5 envelope, and you are going to need a yellow, green, and red colored pencil. I think I neglected to put that on your assignment sheet. So if you need to go grab that, you can pause the video and come back. All right. Now listen very carefully to what I am saying. All right. You will not have a spelling test on Tuesday because we will be off Monday for Labor Day, and I never give a test the day that you come back. So what is going to happen is you're going to have a spelling test that your mom or your home teacher is going to give you on Wednesday morning, and then you'll do another spelling lesson that same day. So you're going to have a spelling test and another spelling sort on next Wednesday, not tomorrow, the next Wednesday. So you will not have a spelling test on Tuesday. You'll have it on Wednesday morning at home. All right, so let's take a look and see what our sort chart looks like. And another thing about your test on Wednesday is just going to be over the spelling of words. Your mom is not going to have to give you the sorting part of the spelling test. She's just going to give you a list of words, and you'll spell them just like a regular spelling test, but you will not have to sort. So now that I've got that out of the way, our chart looks like this, and we're talking about long and short sounds. Now, the long and short sounds have to occur in certain syllables. Now, remember, a word can be divided into different parts, and those are called syllables. And an easy way to figure out syllables is to clap when you're saying a word, like as in the word beautiful. That has 3 syllables because you clapped 3 times. So, we are looking for long and short sounds in syllables. So the very thing I want you to do is I want you to take all of your words and I want you to turn them face up so that you can read all your words. And I want you to go through and I want you to find the words rainbow, peasant, and sustain. Now, let's look at our very first column. Our very first column says first syllable long. What they are doing is they are looking for a long syllable sound, a long vowel sound in the first syllable. And so rainbow. Now, this is one of the reasons why I am not going to have you do the sort, is because rainbow is kind of confusing because it also has the long O sound in the second syllable. And so that one to me could possibly go in the red column. So that's where we're not doing the sort. There's some of these words that it could go either way, and I didn't want to get you confused and because I just didn't think that was fair. So what we're going to do is you're just going to have a spelling test just on the words. So let's look at rainbow. It has the long vowel sound in the first syllable. Let's look at the second column. It says first syllable short. So we're looking for a short syllable sound, a short vowel sound in the first syllable. So in peasant, we have the short E sound, all right, in the very first syllable. And then in the red column, we're looking for the long vowel sound in the second syllable, as in sustain, has the long A sound. So now what I want you to do is you can actually glue these today if you want, because you're not really practicing the sorts because you're not going to have the test over the sorts. So if you want to go ahead and glue them down today, you can. But I need for you to take your red, green, and yellow colored pencils, and I want you to highlight the following vowel sounds. So the AI together make the long vowel sound in rainbow in the first syllable. The EA together make the short E sound in the first syllable on the green column. And then the AI together makes the long vowel A sound in the second syllable. All right, so this is kind of what we're doing. If you, like I said, if you want to glue, you're not doing the sorts on Wednesday. You're just going to spell. So now I want you to find the words sailor, heading, and refrain. Okay, and in this case, I want you to always remember, if you don't understand what a word means, you need to ask your home teacher when you're going through this. So refrain means to not do something. Um, like if I refrain from not drinking Coca-Cola for a week, then that means I'm not going to do it for a week. All right, so let's look at the word sailor. It has the long A sound made by the AI in the first syllable, so that's why it's going to go in the yellow column. In the second one, we have heading. It has the EA making the short E sound in the first syllable, so that's why it's going in the green column. And then in the word refrain, it's just like the word sustain. All right, the AI together make the long A sound, but it's in the second syllable. So now I want you to take your colored pencils and I want you to highlight the AI in sailor, the EA in heading, and the AI in refrain, because that's what we're focusing on are the vowel sounds. All right, now what I want you to do is I want you to find all the words that you think are going to just go in the yellow column. Remember, order does not matter. They just have to go in the correct column. Don't glue them down until I tell you the answer, because as you see in rainbow, that is kind of iffy, and so you won't know where I want you to put it. So don't glue until we go to the answers. So you have all the yellow words. So if you need to stop the video and start again when you're ready, just go ahead and do that. All right, you should have found the words trainer, freezer, needle, reason, bleachers. All right, so in trainer, it has the long A sound made by the AI in the first syllable. Freezer has the long E sound made by the two E's in the first syllable. Needle is just like freezer, okay, made by the two E's, the long E sound in the first syllable. Reason has the long E sound, but it's made by the EA together in the first syllable. And bleachers is just like the word reasons. The EA make the long E sound in the first syllable. So now that you have all of those words, I want you to highlight in yellow the long vowel sounds. Make sure you're highlighting both of those letters, because if you don't have both of those letters together, it doesn't make the long vowel sound. So you need to highlight those letters, and if you want to glue today, you can go ahead and do that. All right, let's go on to the next column. What I want you to do is all the remaining words, I want you to find all the words that you think are going to go in the green column. Remember, we're looking for first syllable, but we're looking for the short vowel sound. Short vowel, remember, doesn't say its name. All right? It's a short vowel sound, and you're looking for specifically in the first syllable. So go ahead and find that, and when you're ready, you can start the video again. All right, you should have found the words jealous, pleasure, measure, feather, and steady. Now, if you'll notice, those are all EA words. They make the short sound or the short E sound, but they're all spelled with an E and an A together. So these are all the short vowel sound, and I found them all in the first syllable. So that's why they go in the green column. So you can go ahead and glue those down if you want. You can wait if you want. But then I want you to take your green colored pencil and I want you to highlight all of the EAs in the first syllable that makes the short vowel sound. All right, now we've got our words cut down, so we have very few words left. Now, I want you to notice that there's an oddball column. An oddball column has to do with they don't belong in any of the other columns. That's why it's called an oddball. So you're going to have very few words left, but you have to remember, some of them are still going to go in the purple column. So I want you to look at the remaining words, and I want you to try to figure out which words have the long vowel sound in the second syllable. Okay, in sustain and refrain, it's both the long A sound, spelled A and I. So go ahead and stop the video and put the words that you think belong in the red column. All right, now that you are back, you should have put the words terrain, retreat, disease, canteen, and succeed. Now, I want you to notice that I think that we've already had the word disease once. Sometimes you're going to have spelling words over again because they fit in different sorts very easily. So, like disease, you may already know how to spell, so that's really nice. But if we were doing the sort, then you would need to know which column it is. So sometimes we might have repeat words, and that's okay. It doesn't hurt. The nice thing about it, if you can spell it once, you can spell it again. So, now that you've got those words in that column, they don't have to go in any particular order. I want you to go back and I want you to highlight with your red colored pencil the AI in terrain, just like as in sustain and refrain, we have terrain. Okay, retreat, disease, both have the long E sound in the second syllable, and they're both spelled with an EA together. And then the last two words that I have are canteen and succeed, all right? And those are both spelled, two E's make the long E sound in the second syllable. So go ahead and highlight those, and then you should have very few words left. And so those are going to be put into the oddball categories. Let's look and see why. Captain has the AI, just like as in sustain and refrain and terrain, but listen, captain. It doesn't make the long A sound. It makes a short sound. So you cannot put that word in any of those three previous columns. But the reason why they gave you that word is because they wanted you to see that captain, even though there's an AI in the second syllable, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be long. That's the crazy thing about the English language. You learn a rule, and then you're going to find words that always break the rule. And captain is kind of one of those. All right, the next word is greatness. All right, and the reason why that didn't go in the first column is because if you will notice, the EA in reason and bleachers make the long E sound. The word greatness, the long E, the E and A together make the long A sound. And so they didn't want you to get confused about you pronouncing that greatness, okay, because it makes a different sound in that case. And the last word is beauty. That's kind of a tough word to spell because you've got three vowels right there in a row. But if you'll notice, the EA together does not make the long vowel sound. And what they're doing is they're showing you that there are two letters together that make the sound. And so you do have a long E sound on the end of beauty, but the long E sound is only made by the single Y. And so it's not two letters together. So I think some of these words can be kind of confusing. That's why I didn't want to put it on a sort. You didn't have to do a sort test this time. And I didn't want to put your moms through that. Another reason. They just need to give you, they're just going to give you some words, and then you're going to spell them on a test. So that will be next Wednesday. So you will not have a spelling test on Tuesday. And then I'll tell you, you will not need to turn in your spelling sort. Okay, I'm not going to have you turn in your spelling sort next Tuesday because you still need to use it to study with for Wednesday's test. And so you'll be turning that in on Friday. But I'll make sure it's on the assignment sheet so you fully understand what you're supposed to be doing. All right. So I hope you practice. Some of these are pretty hard words. And so I really need for you to practice and get a great grade so you can impress your moms. So I hope you have a great day, and I will see you on Friday.